the biggest key to this game.
Chris Doering, SEC Network on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. All right, let's go to Ole Miss and Kentucky in Oxford. It's an 11 a.m. kick. Ole Miss is almost a 3-touchdown favorite. Is that too many points for you, CD?
It seems like a lot of points because is there anybody we know less about in the SEC right now than Ole Miss? I mean, in the preseason we talked about Missouri and Ole Miss kind of having a similar schedule with, some lighter opponents in the beginning and ramping things up. Missouri ended up being a little different schedule with how good Boston College has been to this point, and Vandy exceeding expectations. So I feel like they've been tested a little bit more, but I really don't know. I think Ole Miss is really good. I had them going to the SEC title game in the preseason. They've been lighting it up with, subpar opposition on the other side. But, can they still continue to do that? I do worry a little bit about the secondary for Ole Miss, but I don't think that's anything that Kentucky's going to necessarily be able to exploit. Obviously, this is going to be a much more physical game. Coach Stoops' team got their grind back a little bit after being embarrassed by South Carolina. They returned to their blue collar nature and really committed to being better on the line of scrimmage, running the ball better. I thought Vandegrift has improved, but I don't know that there's anybody when you're clicking on all cylinders. I don't know that there's anybody that can score with Ole Miss. So I think the key for Kentucky is trying to keep those explosive plays in front of them, make them drive the length of the field, and make them convert into touchdowns in the red zone. If things don't click on offense, we've known Lane Kiffin to get a little impatient, and that could work in the favor of Kentucky. But I do think this is a great test for them before they really get into the heart of the SEC schedule.
Yeah, I can't wait if they just dominate or if Kentucky hangs around for a little while or all day. He is CD, Chris Doering on the Out of Bounds show. I didn't think Hugh Freeze, what he said about his quarterback and running back was that earth-shattering. And I think if you listen to the whole, not just the cut that made Twitter, he blamed himself and then he blamed, and then he put some blame on players. I'm okay with that because it's a big boy league. And, if you're playing, you're 19, 20, 21, your expected results matter and production and so on. However, Twitter freaked out, and that's fine too. Now, take out the Bo Wallace stuff. Just what Freeze said. Did that bother you, or did you just shrug it off? What was your reaction?
I mean, I played for a guy in Coach Spurrier that always took the blame. Now, whether he was being authentic with taking the blame or just saying that, it is another story. But I think the worst thing that you can do is try to place blame on individual players through the media. Nick Saban is a master, Coach Cal, a master, speaking to his team through the media, but I don't know that it is singled out to certain players the same way that it kind of felt like it was with Hugh Freeze. And honestly, you don't need to look anywhere more than the mirror because he went all in on Peyton Thorne.
True.
I mean, he had an opportunity to go in the portal and try to upgrade at that position. He felt like, surrounding Peyton Thorne with better talent was going to yield better results. He thought by inserting himself into the game planning and play calling a little bit more that would help Peyton Thorne. He thought that working on a more consistent basis with the quarterbacks would help. It has not so far to this